Indiana is the home to over 300 medical device companies. It's major manufacturer in our country, offering high-skilled jobs at literally 56% average higher pay than other manufacturing jobs in Indiana. But more than that, more than what it does to our economy, what has already been mentioned, the improvements in health and life-saving results of medical device innovation is truly, truly extraordinary. We as a Congress and we as a federal government ought to be doing everything possible to encourage this industry for moral reasons alone, but for also a number of economic reasons and the fact that, you know, it's making a significant difference in people's lives. The tragedy of what has happened here is that while there is as much bipartisan support for this legislation as any other piece of legislation in the last 5 years within the Congress, we are unable to get to a finish line. There's one person standing in the way of our passing this on a bipartisan basis. 79 votes in the last Congress, all 45 Republicans and 34 Democrats. I don't know what the ratio is now, but it significantly exceeds anything else that we've been dealing with. And yet the White House is reluctant to do this. It's been a pay-for, obviously, for a failed Health Care Act. But it's an egregious tax that is not only costing a lot of companies a lot of money that they could have been putting into innovation, but has denied people the ability to improve their lives and potentially save their lives. In 2013, in testimony before the Senate Budget Committee, Cook Medical Chairman Steve Ferguson stated, and I want to quote, because this, I think, reflects what the consequences of not taking action is. Cook has made the difficult decision that without repeal of the medical device tax, we will move important new product lines outside of the United States. Our previous plans to open 5 new manufacturing facilities in American towns are now on hold as we have to use this capital intended for these projects simply to pay the excise tax. It is more than time that Congress took up this legislation, passed a bill on a bipartisan basis, delivered it to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, and if necessary, was prepared to override a presidential veto. We desperately need to move forward with this legislation and take action. We've had all the hearings that we need. Well, this one is important. This is part of our moving forward. I've got small companies in Indiana that are researching and pouring money into innovative improvements and yet are denied the opportunity to go forward. They're losing money in the research phase, which they can't capture through the sales that they have because they're taxed not on profits, but they're taxed on sales. And excise tax is one of the most egregious taxes ever dreamed up by any form of government. So as you can tell, I'm pretty exercised about this whole issue. I'm really happy that you're having this hearing. And I want to move from this hearing, Mr. Chairman, and mention the ranking member also, because this is a bipartisan effort. Let's get to the point where we no longer allow the executive branch to say, well, Congress hasn't moved on that. Let's move on this. Let's get a bill there. And if necessary, let's override a veto and get this excise tax repealed.